Okay. Yep. Wow. So many people.
Pranam Master, good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Pranam Pavni. Pranam is another way in India to say namaste. So we say pranam. Uh, it is more ancient and it's from the Sanskrit, Vedic Sanskriti, where we say pranam, which means that I want to connect with you. I extend my soul to connect with your soul. So my inner being, which is called prana, I extend the I am, the entire perspective of my inner being in order to connect with you. So it is very beautiful and powerful word. I like it. So we nowadays we use it less, but still, in some people like to use pranam on the name in place of namaste. But both are good.
Pranam is used to the master who is helping us move in the spiritual path. So it's salutations to the master.
Wonderful. So I'm good. I'm happy to see all of you guys. Urjula is here today. Venera is here. Fernanda is here. Fernanda, where did you reach?
Hi, I just arrived in Bali.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. Many people are traveling and enjoying. And Rashim ji is here. Faith is here. Everybody is here. Wonderful. Okay. So today we are going to take a couple of very good questions, which I've already received from the students. But anybody who wants to start with asking something, I would. Yeah, Vanera.
Yeah, so I have a question regarding the impermanence of life, so to say. I'll try to phrase it as good as I can. Yeah, so it's pretty much mostly related to people passing away, and I get the whole idea that nothing lasts forever in this life, but it somehow leads me to this depressive thoughts of like, what else is there then? It to me, it kind of comes down to nothingness, that nothing is there forever, so I don't know, it just makes it kind of depressive in my head. So I thought maybe you have any thoughts or ideas to keep in mind, so that I
Yes.
can see it maybe like from different angle. Okay, nothing is permanent, but or like I don't know, yeah, what happens after we die, of course, but just to see in everyday life, anyways, that in a bit more positive way rather than one day it's all gonna be like we all gonna die.
Yes, that's a wonderful, wonderful question, Venera. And it is, this question comes actually in everybody's mind. Most of the people at some point of life, this question comes in everybody's mind. Most of the people choose to ignore it. Some people who are kind of walking on the cautious path, they cannot ignore it because this question comes to you because universe wants to tell you something, and that is why this question becomes very important or a trigger point for you to become more sincere and dedicated for your path. Because when you look at the world, you realize that actually the basic nature of the world is impermanence. Everything will finish. whatever is started. And that is why if you just pass your life, or I would say waste your life in running after those wild goose chases, where to, running after the attachments or living for the attachments, or your ego satisfaction, or only your emotional satisfactions, you will realize in the end of the life that nothing you have in your hand, and everything is just going away as if you are trying to catch the water in your fist. Right. And this is the question which actually came in Buddha's mind, and then only his entire transformation journey started. This was the question about the death, that if everybody is going to die, why do I need to live this life of attachment only, or why do I need to collect things around me? Nothing is permanent, anything can go. I will also die, and I will not take anything with me. Then why so much of effort and so much of madness? And that only gave him this motivation and this understanding that no, I don't want to live this life of impermanence. I don't want to collect things which are impermanent. I would like to seek something which will remain with me, which is permanent. And later he found that seeking of something which is permanent, which is going to remain with him, is also the seeking for ultimate liberation. Because bondage is always in impermanence, because nothing binds you. The entire idea of matrix is that matrix does not bind you. You go and get attached with the matrix, and then matrix binds you. Right? We actually learn about this in 300 hour very nicely. But this question becomes the base of your entire journey. Same thing happened with me also when I was working with Mother Teresa, and I was just a child of 17 years in around 1997, and where I worked in a place where we used to go and get the people who were dying and who were homeless and who were very sick, and they were having no one to take care of them, and we used to go uh, take ambulance with them and get them and then take care of them and give them the treatment and stuff. And it was called Kali Ghat Ashram. And in that place, 80% of the people we used to get used to die because they were already dying. They could not survive. So our main purpose was to give them a better atmosphere while they are leaving their body. That somebody's around them, somebody's caring for them, and they get some smile on their face. They leave their body in more peaceful and better space. And 20% of people used to survive, used to recover and everything. And we like they were so this was kind of the toughest volunteer work I have done in my life. So we were different volunteers, and under me, for example, there were three beds. So when we used to go and get and bring people there, and then if it is like my person, then I will take care of that person. I'll first of all make them, make shower or maybe sponge them, clean them, and give them a comfortable bed, talk to them. I became very famous because I was the only Indian working there, and they could relate with me nicely. I could understand their language or their emotions. Most of other people were all from different countries. So I was quite popular there. And then in 15 days of, because I was allotted a 2 weeks of time of working there. So in that 15 days time, 2 weeks time, uh, we got around, I've got around 18 people Out of that, 10 people died. Now, you are bringing somebody, you are taking care of that person, you are kind of getting emotionally attached because you want them to feel better. They are talking to you, they are feeling better, they are kind of blessing you that thank you so much, you're taking care of us. And you are giving them medicine and making them eat, and then you're leaving for the night, coming back in the morning, and they are dead. And then it's your duty because you need to go take them and bury them according to their religion, and then come back, clean the bed, go out, get another person. It was a tough job if you look at it from the emotional angle, too much emotional demanding. But that made me realize the true impermanence nature of life. And that made me becoming free from everything in life. That was the spontaneous detachment happened inside me during those 2 weeks. Because of course I cried in first week a lot, like every single night, every single day. But then I realized because every single day I was crying for different people. And then I realized that yeah, of course I'm feeling like crying, but ultimately the person is gone. So what I can do is I can keep wasting my time in crying and making myself weak, or I can take care of those who are still surviving because they were also there. Under me, my three beds were there, right? And then I realized that life keeps moving whether somebody is there or not. But you cannot depend on something which is not permanent. You have to. So, in that particular scenario, the only permanent thing I was having is my work that I have to do it daily. I have to bring somebody daily. I have to take care of that person. I have to treat them. I have to feed them. And in fact, if they leave their body, I am burying them. Still, I have to come back to my core, my sanity, my centering, so that I can treat those people who are surviving and I can go get another person. So first of all, keep moving on to your purpose was the only permanent thing I was having there, which I had to do. Second, it led me to the spontaneous detachment. And after that, my spiritual journey started. In that, I mean, that was I was spiritual like little before also. But that time, after that, I was not having an interest in anything, to make a great career or to earn big name or money or fame or this and that because I realized that everything is impermanent. That changed me as a person. And rather than getting into this depression, because I was in middle of that I could not get into depression or I could not cry maybe more than some time because I had to take care of more people. Probably if I would be at home sitting alone in one room, I would get into depression. But because I was not at home and I had to take care of more things, I was having no comfort of getting into depression. I was only focused on what is next, on people who are surviving. And that made me a motivation to keep going. But also, another motivation became for me of keep going is to feel more responsible towards those people who are still surviving, to see the smile on their face. And that was huge for me. That, okay, somebody who is gone, it's very tough. But somebody who is there, who is still surviving, I wanted to see smile on their face. And that gave me another level of motivation in life to keep moving towards next day. Because first week was horrible for me, that why, if everybody is going to die, why do even we need to do this, that we need to bring them, we need to do so many things, and then they die. But then I realized that there is still something which can be done, that is looking at the smile of on those faces who are surviving. So that gave me two things finally, this entire episode. One, spontaneous detachment, my attachment and running after all those desires, everything is dissolved. Second thing, I got my clarity of life, that what I am going to devote my life towards, to bring the smile on people's face, to bring the permanent happiness on people's lives. And to bring the happiness on people's life, there are many ways. Okay, you can do social surveys, you can give people free food, you can help poor. But I learned about permanence. So I wanted people to be permanently happy. And I realized during my own journey that that can happen only and only through transformation. And meditation is the way to that. Understanding your own consciousness, understanding your own energies, living a conscious life is way to that. So that motivated me to bring that permanent happiness, consciousness inside me. So I worked hard on myself to do that. And then I started sharing of what I received. And I still live with the same remembrance of detachment and same remembrance of motivation of bringing permanent happiness in people's lives. Understand? And this is huge because with these two remembrance, actually nothing, absolutely nothing in the world shakes me from my path, because it is so clear. When you are so free from attachments or desires or fears or greed, because when you become detached, you automatically become free from fears and greeds also. What else can you do in your life? How you can make use of your life is to create something which you do for two people for their entire life and not for a short time, because then you work for permanence. I work for permanence. And then on the next step, what is permanent, which Buddha has found, which I have found, is your pure consciousness. In India, we believe the journey of the soul and incarnations, reincarnations, that if your soul has some desires and attachments, it will come back to some body, another lifetime, to finish those desires and attachments. That's the law of the karma. But the consciousness which your soul carries remains with it, and your soul comes in the next body and you get the next life depending on the level of your consciousness. So your consciousness is permanent, it goes with you, it travels with you, and it only is your final savior. It is going to make you absolutely free from this coming going. We call it avagaman in Sanskrit. From this coming going, making different birth, taking different body types to come back to live a life of karmic compulsions, of attachments, of desires. Your consciousness makes you feel, makes you free. And only permanent thing you can do in your life for yourself is to grow that consciousness and become free from the compulsion of coming back in the body. And that is my effort, which I am sharing with you. And for the others, also, this is the only thing you can do. According to my discovery, probably it would be different for different people, according to my discovery. For yourself, the permanent thing you can do is to grow in your consciousness in whatever kind of life you are living, in whatever kind of job you are doing, and for others to help them grow in their consciousness so that you are also kind of helping them or pushing them towards their permanence, towards their completion of their soul journey. And when you understand this, you will live in that path where you know that you are not attaching with impermanent things. You are you have based your life on something which is going to remain with you. And that is the power of living a cautious life. That consciousness remains with you. The more your consciousness is grown, you will see the benefit immediately in your current life, that you are more rooted, more stable. You don't worry. You are not stressed. You are not fearful. You keep moving in life, but at the same time, this growth of consciousness keep making you free. You feel that freedom inside, and it remains with you even after you leave the body, right? And that is the purpose in India in the concept of Advaita Vedanta. We understand and we believe that actually to grow in your consciousness, to complete your soul journey, and your soul journey gets completed only when you reach to the absolute state of your consciousness where it can go and merge with the supreme consciousness and become one with it. So it becomes so purified and so elevated. And that is your soul journey. And you get this birth in this body, or body after body, birth after birth, with only one single purpose, is to complete your soul journey, to grow in your consciousness, and to make it absolutely free and absolute divine. Because when it is absolutely free, it is divine, right?
Mhm.
So you actually have also taken the gist from me for 300 hours, but this is the way to look at life when you realize the impermanent nature of life. It's not the matter of feeling depressed, it's the matter of feeling motivated that you have got this life. And I actually want to congratulate you that you got this idea, that why this circus, why this wild goose chase which is never going to end. Why? Because when you ask this question, this question arises of why inside you, you suddenly become free of all that mental and emotional drama inside you. You say, why? What the hell I'm crying for? And for what? Anyway it is going to finish. Anyway it is not permanent. And even if it is permanent, it is not going to give me absolute satisfaction, because it cannot give, because it is always half. Even if you have, like, in the best of loving relationship, can you guarantee that it is going to give you absolute satisfaction? Maybe for few days. In few days, after some days, some or the other drama will arise in your mind or in somebody else's mind. And if you are attached with the drama, if you are not taking care of the drama, then the matrix will have you. So, this thought that why all this circus is a very beautiful thought which gives you motivation, one, to value your journey too much, to value this consciousness arising inside you, to value this path, to value your life, and not to waste it. Because if you cannot value it, if you will not value it, you will not use it. If you value it, you will use it for the growth, and you will realize, I actually have done this. I made the list, not many lists. I always I'm very good in working with lists, and that's how I teach also. So many lists we created during our 100 and 200-hour programs. But I was making so many lists with myself about, okay, this is where I am attacked. This is where I am fearful. This is where I feel anxious. These things are where I lose my centering. And I started working on everything on them, one by one. And my entire life, whatever I have done with myself, actually, I have put together in these courses, which I teach you guys. And we have worked on those lists, those 10 lists in 200 hours. You remember that, right?
Mhm.
So I have given you all the tools to work on yourself. Use them now,
Got it. Thank you.
right, Vanera?
Mhm. And in terms of like afterlife thoughts, so more fears of like not knowing what exactly is going to happen after. So it will be also related to what you just mentioned, just either rebirth again, or if you were really successful in this life, then just becoming part of supreme consciousness.
Yes. And you know what? This thought of fear that, oh, I don't know what is going to happen with me after life is also coming from some level of attachment.
Mm-hmm.
Fear cannot happen without any attachment. Where there is attachment, there is fear. There is no attachment, there is no fear. So, if you want to finish your fears, finish your attachment. Another thing which I always say, attachment, finishing attachment does not mean running away from them. Then you are not finishing them, you are still carrying them in your head. So, never feel fearful of getting involved. Just remain cautious that you don't need to be attached. Involved, yet not attached. Right?
Yeah.
So that means that you are going to love everybody unconditionally, then only. Then pure love, pure joy, pure peace becomes your base of life. And when you reach to the state of moksha, that means absolute freedom of mind while living in the body, you become free of matrix, you grow in your consciousness, you become free of the matrix. Then, in that state, when you leave the body, or when your consciousness is free, when you leave the body, then you don't have any need or any reason to come back. Then you are absolutely free. You become part of the supreme consciousness, of the universal consciousness. You become one with that. And then, if universe needs to send you back, because then you don't have any need to come. But when universe needs to send you back, it sends you back as a messiah, as a messenger, as an avatar, which gives some message of love, of consciousness to the world. Jesus, Buddha, thousands of Sufi masters, Krishna, Sai Baba, lots of gods and saints in India or everywhere in the world. Many times they are born like that. They are born like that. They are born like Jesus were born free. So is sent by the universe as an avatar to give some message to the world. So then you come like that because you don't come for your own reason. And that is why these people are always fearless because they don't come for their own reason. So they don't care how long they live. They only care for their purpose. And when we make our purpose supreme, we can also create that life of for ourselves right in this body, right in this life. You don't need to wait to die and then come back as a Messiah. You can do it right away. It's in your hand. It's your choice. And that's the power of your choice. That's the power of your consciousness. And this is huge. And that is why this opportunity of this lifetime is amazing. We don't need to waste it. Right?
Mhm. Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Wonderful question. Anybody wants to say anything in this or ask? Yes, Rashanji?
Okay, so as we all are here moving on a path to grow our consciousness, we are just trying to, under your leadership, under your guidance, and all that, and we are trying our best to do that. That is why we all are here. But my question is, when people around you, they just don't know even sea of consciousness. We talk about conscious, we understand that, and we are doing our bit to do that. But when they don't understand, and at times when they try to trigger your ego, in that situation, how do you handle that? How do you do that?
Yeah, the consciousness means that you are becoming free from attachments.
Yeah.
Right. The first freedom of the first attachment. What is the first attachment which is created in the world? What is the first attachment which is created with your own self? That is the attachment of I. Everything starts from I am. I am Russian. I am female. I am this. I am that. The first attachment, which is also which becomes the last attachment, which starts. This attachment starts from when you take birth and it ends when you leave the body. But the idea of this attachment remains in your consciousness. And then in another birth, you again start to behave the same manner. So, this is the first attachment. When you start to become free from this attachment, you actually grow in your consciousness. You become pure and purely free from your attachment. And when you become free from this attachment, nobody can trigger your ego because you don't care about your ego. How a ego can be triggered? Because you still care about that. Why you care about that? Because you still base your life on the ego rather than basing it on your consciousness. Ego will never die. We have already spoken on this many times. I tell this always. Ego will never die. It's one of the functionary. You may need to use it for functioning capacity, but your life should not be motivated or um, kind of driven by ego. It has to be driven by from the space of consciousness. And your consciousness has to be free from your ego. And then you will know that people do what they are good at. You also need to do what you are good at or what you want to become good at. If you will also do what they are good at, you are becoming their slave.
Mm, mm,
Right. So if you want to become good at your consciousness life, your conscious life, then you need to do what you want to become good at or what you are good at. That's exactly every single saint or master have done in the world. Take example of Jesus or take example of Krishna or Sai Baba or Guru Nanak Dev. When people speak ego to them, they spoke love because they were full of love. So you cannot speak consciousness for those with those people who are not even know the sea of consciousness. But you can always speak love with everybody absolutely. Right? There are three things which is base energy, which every person can recognize and welcome: pure love, pure joy, pure peace. You can speak these three things with anybody. And with that, they will connect with your consciousness. You will see a magic will happen. When they speak ego and you speak love, magic will happen. There are many, many, many stories of Buddha, of Sai Baba, of Guru Nanak Dev, of many other masters, of the Kabir. Many other masters are there. When people spoke ego to them, they spoke peace, they spoke love, they spoke their unconditional joy and connection with divine. They never replied to their ego because they were detached from their own ego. So if some people is speaking ego, if you are not driven by your ego, you don't need to reply to their ego. You can still be loving. If you cannot still be loving, then you can decide that you can just save yourself initially. This practice. Don't get into that endless competition. Because you will never know, but the moment you get into this competition of this rat race, you will become the rat. And then in the end, no matter who will win the race, even if you win the race, you will be a rat winning the race. Why? To get into the rat race. That's the conscious life, right?
Thank you
And
so
it
much.
is not going to affect their life. It is going to affect your life. It is your
My life.
decision. What
Yeah.
life you want to create for your life, yourself. So
Yeah.
your choice today is going to create your life tomorrow. So you need to speak, you need to behave what you want to become. Because if you will not practice it, how will you become what you want to become? And you can practice it only when the chance come, right? You cannot practice it just by sitting in your easy zone and think, oh, I want to be like that. Yes, great, that is your decision. But when the chance will come, when the situation will come, you have to practice that what you want to become. And then you will become that. And that's the only way. So forget whether it is difficult or it is easy. It is the only way. And life is not
Mm.
easy, you know it. Life has
Yeah.
never promised to be easy for anyone. Life never promises that. So let's do it, whatever is required to be done, right?
Thank you. I needed to hear this today. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. Hi, Farah.
Hi. Oh,
Good to see you. You.
see, um, I feel like the last two questions answered a lot. This week I've been struggling with a situation that feels very unhealthy to me in my body and my nervous system. I get really triggered and I feel my inner child get really full of fear, pain, and I want to run away. But my life coach says the life lesson is to move through it. And I have to stay in it and make the decisions that my higher self would make, even though I feel like the healthy choice is to immediately remove myself from the situation, because why repeat a situation that keeps through past experiences have proven to cause pain. I've been advised to stay in it, to try to move through it. So I think what you're saying about the ego, resolving the ego, it made me feel there was a lighter path up above where I don't feel that pain and discomfort if I just happen to release the ego and the stories. Anyways, thank you.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. Whenever you need to leave, if you leave as a winner, if you leave that because you are not interested in that, that is the graceful leaving, and that is beautiful. But if you leave because you want to run away, because you are fearful, then that will haunt you. That's how life functions. So you have to become bigger of the situation. You have to become that, okay, I leave it because I am not interested in rat race, but I'm not fearful of it. And then is your conscious choice of leaving it. When you have to leave because of the fear, that's not your conscious choice, that's the choice of the fear, right?
Yeah.
So beautiful. Good, you got it right. I am happy. Thank you. All right. So who is there on iPhone who has raised hand? I don't know the name and video is off. Please call. Ask your question.
This is Raji, Master. Thank you so much.
Hi, Raji.
How are you,
Yes,
Master? All good?
I am good. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
ask.
very much for these wonderful answers. I think this was something that I was holding as a
Hmm.
question, and it got answered even before I could ask. And yes, I'm so glad I joined today. It was so spontaneous and so random. I joined to get these answers. Thank you very much, Master. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Good. Thank you, Raji.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, Pavni, you can ask your question.
I keep getting confused between energy, consciousness, and awareness. Can you just enlighten on this?
Yeah, see, energy is the force which make things move. Anything, physical world, metaphysical world, outside world, inside world, everything is energy. Right. Uh, when we become aware of the energy, then we can use it consciously. This means that awareness is the tool to control or direct the energy for our purpose and vision, which is controlled by our consciousness. So consciousness is our inner platform, which is kind of which holds our inner being, which tells us, if we cautious about it, that which direction to go, what is the vision of the life, where we need to reach. And if we don't use it, then we just listen to the noise of the world that, yeah, you need to become a doctor or a professor or an engineer or marry or have two kids or get some name or all those things which we learn from outside. They decide our life. So actually, our life is decided by our consciousness. But if we are not aware of our consciousness, we are only aware about the noises from outside world. We get impressed by them and we live that life. And then we start to use all the energy to fulfill those noises or voices in our head. Right? Our physical energy, our mental energy, our emotional energy, or any energy like energy of our prayers, energy of our wishes, or our affirmations, anything. Okay. So energy is there, it is raw, it is going to work in one manner or the another. Okay. Awareness is the tool by which you can direct the energy. But awareness has to be for your energy, awareness has to be for your purpose also, for your consciousness also. So awareness is the tool which actually connects everything. That you know that, okay, you become aware that you are hungry, and then you are aware that you can cook, and then you are aware of, oh, you have food in your kitchen or you have vegetables in your fridge and you know how to cook, and now you can cook and eat and it will fulfill your hunger. So the basic hunger becomes your consciousness. Your awareness about your hunger is your awareness about your consciousness, which is motivating you to create a solution or cook a food. And then your awareness about the outer things, like you have vegetables in the fridge and you know how to cook, is basically those things are energy. So vegetable is energy, your cooking efforts is energy, right?
Excellent. Thank you so much. That gave
Consciousness is inner platform, awareness is the tool, functioning tool, energy is those ingredients by which you can make use of something, you can produce something, you can create something or destroy something. Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Meenakshi. Thank you, Pavni. Yes, Meenakshi.
Everybody. I just have a very question. I don't know how to put this question. I'm gonna try my best. Ever since I came back, um, I'm finding myself being very detached with a lot of matters, including family and friends. And sometimes I see all these dramas happening, so I walk away very easily. But they keep pulling me in, and I keep walking out. And there's always a struggle. Not that I don't understand. I understand that they are still in that attachment world, but I don't belong there. I don't feel like belonging there. I don't feel like staying there. But I don't know how to make them understand, or I don't know how to make them see things. So I don't know how to handle when I'm being pulled back. So how do I handle this?
See, you have to find out those hidden layers where you still have some attachment about your own self. It may be a very simple thing that you don't want to hurt anyone. It may be another simple thing that you want everybody should always feel good about you, that you are a good human, or you care for them, or you love them. They should always feel like this. Right? There can be something which is related with your own attachment with your own self, which is giving you inner struggle. When you are truthfully you, it doesn't give any struggle. If you don't want to get into any drama, you would be able to say it clearly. You would be able to put your boundaries clearly without judging them, without demeaning them. But if you are struggling, if you are living with this attachment, knowingly or unknowingly, you also demean them. You also, because you feel in your mind that they are lower, you are higher. And this is not good. You have to find out something somewhere is still there which needs some cleaning, some cleansing. Okay, some purification, so that you become divine in that part also. And then the struggle will end. Whenever you are at home, they will have their drama. You are not afraid of getting involved, but you are not attaching with that. You are free from the drama. You are playing your role. You are getting out. You don't care how others are playing their role. They have a freedom to play their role. Good, not good, bad, very bad, everything. If you knowingly or unknowingly trying to control their role playing, you are in mess, you are in struggle. You understand? Only thing you can do is to be pure, be loving, be divine, and become a clean and pure, conscious example for others. And when their time will come, they can see that example inside you. Right?
Thank you.
Let you live your conscious life peacefully. Let them live their unconscious life peacefully. Very important. Okay?
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Good. Who else is there now? Mukta? Yes, tell me.
There was a question from Tripti, who is another online student under me. She asked
Mhm.
that if a soul is sent on this earth for the purpose of charity and helping others, what kind of life they should live to achieve that?
Okay. She asked two questions, right? This is one question.
Yeah, one of
Anything else
them.
also?
Um, no, for now, this is it.
Okay. So actually, I have already answered this question in the first question which Venera asked. So
Mhm.
you are not sent on this world for charity or serving others. You are sent on this world, in this earth, in this body, in this lifetime to serve yourself, to grow in your own consciousness. Lord Krishna has said this clearly in Gita that everybody has to take care of their soul first, because that is why their life is given to them. Everybody has given a life to take care of their soul, to grow in their soul journey. And the only way you can do this is to live a conscious life, to grow in your soul journey. And when you do that, automatically you live a life which spreads beauty always. And that is why all these conscious people have been doing good to other people as well. Because a beautiful life, a has a beautiful heart and a beautiful mind. And when a beautiful heart and beautiful mind will function in this world, it will always spread beauty. And that beauty would be to do good to others. When others are triggering, speaking ego, you are speaking love. That is doing good to others. And then some people call it charity. I don't call it charity, I call it cautious living. Charity automatically happens. You don't need to do charity. And you are not great that you can do charity. No. If you are given an opportunity to help somebody, be humble, be grateful for that opportunity, because that opportunity is providing you a chance to become more cautious and to spread some beauty in life. And that is going to make your life complete and whole, right? So your life is given to you to grow in your consciousness and live a conscious life, complete your soul journey, and that conscious life is automatically beautiful for others, because then you don't do any harm to anyone, not to yourself, not to others, and always support everyone truthfully. And in that, others will get benefit, right? And you don't need anything in return to do that, because in conscious life you are motivated enough to keep doing good all the time without getting tired, without needing anything in return, right? So this is the answer.
And there's
Anybody
another
wants
one.
to? Yeah.
Um, there's another one from Tanvi. She's doing 100
Yeah.
hours. So she says that in the past
Yeah.
she went through, recent past, she went through some emotionally, physically, and spiritually draining experiences. But during these experiences, she also felt that a lot of good stuff came out of it. And she also thanks you for withstanding with her. And also,
Your last line. y- Your la- your last
she
line
says
was not audible. Repeat it.
she said that physically, emotionally, and mentally, she went through a lot in these
Emotionally,
past.
mentally, and spiritually.
Yeah, she went through a lot in these past months, and
Mm-hmm.
she also feels that a lot of good came out of it, and she thanks you for it. And she also said that during a
Mm-hmm.
few years ago, she was
Mm-hmm.
doing chakra meditations, and a similar thing happened. So right now, she feels that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cleaning is happening, a lot of cleansing is happening, and which is good. But during all of this, she's not able to
Mm-hmm.
proceed and advance in the course that she's doing. And she also disconnected with
Mm-hmm.
us and Sangha for
Mm-hmm.
a while. She's back now, but I think she needs help with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the
Mm-hmm.
question.
All right. So the key is that whenever you get overwhelming experiences, physically, mentally, emotionally, so much which drain lots of your energy. Of course, it is more like a churning. We start our 300-hour training with the story of this churning of the sea, right? It's always like this. And in that churning, lots of energy is used, and lot many things will come out because you need deep cleansing. And in the cleansing, when you allow that to happen, a lot of healing also happens. Actually, I was just thinking about going to do a master class on healing and cleansing. I'm going to do that very soon. It would be very important because I've been getting lots of questions about healing and cleansing in past few days. So I'm going to do that soon. But whenever something of these situations happen, it is like a churning inside happening, and not many things will come out, and you have to process them. Processing can be letting them go without being fearful of them, or accepting them and allowing them to be in your life with harmony, or gaining something out of them. Okay, three kind of processing can happen. When you go through the process, when you stay and allow the process to happen, when you go to the process, in the end the nectar comes out. But before the nectar, all the poisons come out. Right. The only way to complete the process is to stay in the process and keep taking help. We have created such a beautiful support mechanism here. Every student get a student coordinator. I do these Sangha calls every 2 weeks. I am available for everyone to answer their questions anytime. They answer me. They can send the questions related with the course or their personal life. All this support system is there. So alone somebody sometimes can get tired early, but when they remain connected, and that is why I ask everybody to remain connected. If you guys cannot attend the calls, actually attend the call, take the live energy from me, do some live meditation with me. But if you cannot, at least keep watching the Sangha calls. And if you're doing the training, continue doing the classes every day, continue doing the meditation every day. Not a complete session, but some session, some part of the session, some meditation, because that will keep your energy cycle alive. You are in a beautiful energy circle, and that protects you. So you don't need to leave it, because that will give you enough strength and courage and energy to deal with those poisons and those things which are coming out of the journey, and you can stay comfortably in the process. So keep making use of these things. I don't know any other training, online training in the world who provide that much of support. So we are giving it. So everybody must take it. So all those people who are doing online trainings, all those people who have completed their training, remember, you are never alone. We are all together. We are this beautiful soul family. Connect, remain connected, connect with them, rely on them. We do everyday meditation classes live. You can join them from wherever you are and from your home. So all those things are there, and that will really help you. So just make use of this support system which is given to you, which is provided, and it would be great always, right? So that is what my message is. And it's very beautiful that she's back. She is now connected again. We started training. It's beautiful. Remain connected, keep doing something every day, remain in the energy cycle. That will help, right? Yes. Okay. Any last question? Wonderful. Uh,
Can I ask one question if it is not being delayed?
yeah. Yes, Pavni.
Uh, Sometimes I feel guilty to charge for the sessions. Is this
Don't charge. If you feel guilty, don't do anything which makes you feel guilty. And then you will realize when to charge, when not to charge. But you have to make sure that people who are coming to your session or making effort, they value what you are giving them. How will you
Hmm,
ensure that? Let them do something to you. Let them come and cook food for you for 7 days. Come serve you. Do something. Let them do something. There was never any system in the world where people are given anything for free and they could value that. For 17 years, I was teaching meditation to everybody for free. It took me 17 years to realize that I have to find out those people who can prove that they value what they are learning. I have taught meditation for hundreds and thousands of people, hundred thousands of people. But then I don't know what they are doing, what they are living, because they could not value sometime. They were just there to create a quick solution for whatever problem they are into, but they could not value the entire transformation process, and they go back to their last pattern. And then I decided that after that I will not do any short process. I mean, then suddenly after 2015 I realized that the entire world has become spiritual. Why? Because entire world after 2015 have come up with the smartphones and got an account on Facebook and WhatsApp, and they started forwarding the spiritual messages to everybody. And just by forwarding spiritual messages, everybody started to feel that they are spiritual already, and things have become very shallow. And that was the point when I decided in 2017 that I will not do any short programs then. Now, I will not work with those people who just want a quick fix. I will create a value system around me and I will share my things only with those people who can prove that they value this, who make it sure I get an a surety that they will value it. And that's why I create a 10-day program that they have to travel to Rishikesh minimum for 10 days. I was not doing anything online also, that they have to travel to Rishikesh minimum for 10 days to take my training, pay X number of amount, because of course they will be living, they will be eating, and then I will be working with them so that they can prove that they value this. And I will only deal with those people. And since I've started after teaching, after creating this value system around my trainings, I feel the most satisfied because it is not about the charges or this commitment. Look at the results in you people. Look at the results in our entire Sangha. It's awesome. It's only because I ensured that you value that first. And if you cannot value it, there is no need. Then the world is full of free information. No, Google it. Go to YouTube. There are millions and millions of people giving free meditations. Go try.
So how do we get to know how do we evaluate it?
Charging is one thing which ensure
Yeah.
that person value it. That is the easiest.
Yeah. Earlier I
That
did
because
pay.
other how much you can come get, how you otherwise get the commitment.
When I charge less, I don't get quality people who are really interested. They're there to try. So I increase the
See,
prices.
I have
Yeah.
already answered your question.
Yes. Yes, Master.
You need to create a value system. If you want, you yourself has given also your answer. That quality people, what do you mean by quality people? Every people carry the same soul. Every people or person is a quality people. But for you, the quality person is who can value your teaching, who can work on what you are guiding on that, and you see the good result,
Yes.
and they remain in the process till the result comes out. Right? How
Yeah.
will you ensure that before? If you only work from the space of your sympathy or empathy, you cannot. But if you work from the space of your compassion, and that's where I've spoken on the difference between empathy and compassion a lot. When you work on your compassion, you ensure that you are working only on those people who can value your teaching. You will see the end result, and you are not making yourself tired or draining the energy, and in the end feeling like, oh my God, I became a fool. No, right?
Yeah.
And you're also not feeling guilty. But if you're feeling guilty, don't do what you're feeling guilty. Try otherwise, because you also need to learn your lessons. Experiment. It's okay. Experiment everywhere, because I've experimented mine. That's why I'm completely clean and sure about what I am doing and how I am doing it. Okay, because I have experimented enough. I have done everything. You also experiment. Don't take it because I am saying it. Make it your realization so that no doubt comes later. I never get any doubt in my head. Also, you also need to experiment and clean your consciousness. Right? There is nothing good or nothing bad in charging or not charging. Both are equal. My purpose is I need to find people who can value it, and also I can get sustained, so that I don't need to work on another aspect or another area, and I can dedicate and devote my entire time on this. And people are anyway spending money. They're spending money on their travel, they're spending money on their cars or their clothes or their parties or their iPhones. Why can't they spend money on their growth? Only because they don't value this. So wait till they value. Why not? If they value iPhone, they want to get the latest iPhone, they want to take loan for that. That means they value iPhone. And they don't want to pay you anything. That means they don't value your training. And if you don't want to take any value from them, that means you also don't value your training. So you have to first value it. If somebody cannot pay, for example, if sometimes somebody say, oh, I cannot pay the full amount, I tell them to pay in parts. What is the problem? But let them value, or give me something which can show me that you can value it, right?
Thanks for this assurance, Master. Thank you so much. I had to listen it from you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Okay, wonderful. All right, let's do a small meditation, 10 minutes. Today we will just be as a pure consciousness, nothing else. Anything comes to your mind, say to yourself, you are not this, you are pure consciousness, and just be as a pure consciousness. Whatever way you are sitting is okay, because your body is not your consciousness. Your consciousness is free from your body also. Your consciousness is always absolutely free. Just close your eyes and just be. Slowly take 3 deep breaths. Rub your hands. Place them on your eyes. Open your eyes and rub the hands back on your face and on your body. Come back with a smile. Everybody's okay? Thank you so much. I'm going to see you in next call. Keep meditating, keep living a conscious life, and spread the love and happiness around you. Thank you. Let's have a group hug. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.